Hello, this is J.N.S, and today I want to talk about, in a very impromptu way, about this concept of the mind being the universe and every mind being the universe. This concept of everything being mental, um, the levels above that, and what it means in 2024. Okay, and so the reason why we're doing a video on such a topic, and I know not a lot of people would view it, but it's out there in the ether, in the astral records for all time, and so I'm okay with that. But the reason why we are doing a video on such a topic, I've actually just like now trying to get my day started. So as I'm recording, I'm also doing my little daily ritual. So if you hear like walking or like that's just me doing stuff in the background. But anyways, um, I want to say about 2 years ago I had did like this quantum entanglement session talking about like every mind is a universe and what that meant in lieu of the mind control system that is currently in play in this 3 to 5D realm. It still, believe it or not, can be even seen as high as the 7D realm, but that is a story for another day. But this concept of every mind is a universe, um, basically that just means that every mind has a capacity to be expanded. As we know, it kind of works like a supercomputer, a transducer, and it's also like, so a transducer is kind of like it's like an antenna that transforms electricity, or rather one energy form to another energy form. And so humans being like this representation of light energy, this the physical manifestation of electromagnetism itself through gender, through the law of gender, they obviously are representative of the cosmos. Now, Carl Sagan talks about everybody being the stardust and all that, elements of the stardust. And so when we talk about like every mind being a universe in terms of consciousness, we're talking about the microcosm being an expression of the macrocosmic cosmic world. The mind being the microcosm for the macrocosm of how the universe works, or even how the galaxy works. And so Carl Sagan talks about how, this concept of the stardust. And it's interesting because it's not really stardust, it's star inertia. It's very different from stardust. And so humans, yes, you are a manifestation of star inertia. I wouldn't call it dust, you know what I mean? Because it's not inorganic in a sense. It's kind of when you think of dust, you think of something that is kind of abiotic, like non-living, like dust. And so, or ash or something that is in one chemical matter that is not necessarily, hold on, a chemical uh, formula that is not necessarily relevant to like the productive essence at that point. What's going on here? Okay. Hold on, I'm just trying to get this. Okay, and so dust is not the correct word to use. It's star inertia. And so every human, or even you can even say living organism for that matter, and even entities that is beyond a frequency that we can see with our visible light, reaching into different waveforms, whether that be infrared, microwave, satellite, different types of wave frequencies that we can't see or perceive rather. And so we're made up of like this. It's a star, but it's also a bit more cosmic than that. It's universal, and as we know, like the elements that make up a star or a galaxy, a comet, asteroid, you can look this up yourself, consist of like nitrogen, hydrogen, sodium, potassium, calcium, like all these things, carbon. And those are the things that are found within the human. Obviously, the blood is a life force, and then you have the hemoglobin, and all those cool things, all of these chemical things. And so these are not these quote unquote chemicals are not necessarily dormant. They have an essence to them. They have a sentience to them because they're a part of a consciousness that makes up universe. They conduct electricity. They conduct sodium, and these things conduct electricity. Nitrogen and so copper, things that are in the body. And so when we say that you are a representation of star inertia, if you look at it in the scientific sense, like the like Carl Sagan was saying, it's literally true. You can just break that down from the chemical sense, but also think of it more spiritual. When we talk about the concept of Hecka or resonance coming down to consciousness, and then electromagnetism, then obviously your four governing laws of the universe includes electromagnetism. But if you take that down and you go from dimensionality, from high frequencies to denser frequencies, and you get to physical matter, you can still see how it still is born from this essence of spirit or soul. Spirit, because spirit and soul is more individualized, and spirit is like the essence of resonance. Air, it's a combination of air, water, and spirit that makes up like this inner. Well, I would say spirit is a combination of air, water, and resonance, rather. But that's what's also in the human. The human also has this combination of the spirit within them. And so when we talk about every mind being a universe, we're talking about the idea of consciousness, the idea of resonance, the idea of spirit and water. This is what makes universes. That is what the human is a symbolic representation for. Now, obviously, there's different species besides humans on this planet, and so this will go for them as well, obviously. To some degrees of obviously various levels of awareness, some higher, some lower, but it's still there nonetheless. And so what we see on this planet is like this concerted effort to sort of box this star energy, this star inertia that the human possesses by a technology or an ancient, it's an ancient perverted technology based on stolen knowledge that is dying. So it's on its last leg. Some of this, we call it fallen angel technology, whatever, but it's on its last leg. And so they're looking to keep that energy. They're looking for energy sources because you're about to go deep. Because pretty much they're not expendable, but there's a judgment or there's a debt repayment that has to be paid back for the energy that they have stolen for thousands of years, actually. And so the only way to kind of repay that is an implosion back to source energy and recyclement back into like chemical compositions of the universe, pretty much. I wrote about this. I think I just said love, recycle back to love energy, but that's it in like very simple terms. And they will be aware of the fall, like of the descent of the things that they have caused, but their vibration would be they'll be aware of it just through observing the history, but not actually aware of it in terms of their memory. So they'll have access to the history of what happened, and they will know intuitively whether or not they were one of the beings that had fallen and had to get recycled back to universal cosmic source energy. Now they will have obviously a higher awareness and won't even have the free will to be able to carry on the deeds that they carried on that caused this situation, this mind control system simulation, this matrix. They won't have awareness of how to do it again, or even how to embody the vibration and frequency that would even remove them from source energy. They won't have that ability once they recycle back into the chemical composition of source energy, or what many of you would call the Godhead. Now, some people in their religious texts translate that into being cast into a lake of fire, whatever. However you want to look at it, that's just, because people feel like, oh, you have to actually pay for what you, and their payment, their judgment is that implosion of their matrix system that they've built based on false interdimensional technology, or misinterpretive intergalactic mental science as well. So it's a misinterpretation of intergalactic mental science, perversion of ancient stolen technology that is currently running the Earth system. That is dying. That is dying. That's what we talk about, the Great Awakening, the Great Reset. And even sinister forces of trying to do the lockdown, trying to put everything back in a cage in terms of humanity's awareness. And, that's where they come out with the pandemic and all these things. And, the social engineering programs to distract you, to divide you based on gender, based on race, based on class, based on education, everything to divide you, to get you into a lower frequency of either arguing, us versus them. You got the Africans and the Black Americans fighting, white and black fighting, Muslim and Christian fighting, all these things. So it's by design. It's an energy source. It's a low energy of low governing force that is a reverse engineering of electromagnetism that feeds the beast, feeds the system. And so that is coming to an end, though. It's a dying system, because the judgment is for that implosion of the mind control simulation program on top of prime reality, which is what Earth was originally supposed to be. Kai, you can call her Kai, Tiamat, Gaia, whatever, right? Sophia, this Earth was a place of evolution of consciousness, free will, pleasure, and potentiator. So it was also a school where you can kind of accelerate on a fast track through the trickster type energy, where you're supposed to see through the illusion and know that you were always this spirit in a human body transcendence that wanted to experience contrast and arbitrariness, and but you were, however, supposed to always be aware of God within and God head, or this star inertia. You're supposed to be aware that you were always a star, right? You were not supposed to be coerced into selling your star, or what people say, your soul, for material things. Forgetting who you are, having low self-esteem, not living out your dreams, working 9 to 5, and all that nonsense. That was not supposed to be the case. But obviously that happened due to the perverted ancient alien technology, as well as the perverted ancient intergalactic mentalism science that was taken and stolen and perverted by the fallen angels, or you call them interdimensional beings, whatever, inorganic ones, whatever. Some of them are not quite inorganic, because some of them are highly, highly, highly intelligent, way more advanced than humans, but they still have issues, and that's why their judgment is implosion of their matrix system and recyclement back into the source. And some of that includes some of you humans as well, because some of you have mixture with their DNA, and so you'll be recycled, and you'll have sentience of, once you go through this evolution stage and you have awareness of what happened on planet Earth and the history of planet Earth, and you can see the records on planet Earth, you will be able to see the history of the fall. You'll have remembrance of that, so that memory is not going to be taken away. However, your ability to do it again will be removed, the free will to do that again. The knowledge of how to do it will be removed and obscured, and we'll change that through various reconfigurations. I won't get into the science of how we do that, but also you'll vibrate at love, but also you will know whether or not you were one of the ones that participated in that system. Like, you'll be aware, like, okay, I must have been at one point a fallen angel. I must have been at one point one of the ones that sold my star inertia, to as a part of some sort of pact or oath or whatever that they do down here on planet Earth, that type of thing. You'll be aware of that as well. But the good thing is you'll be recycled back into the Godhead. Obviously, you'll go through your periods of learning sciences and learning, as a soul again, as a not so much a soul, but like this. And this is why people, they feel like, I won't say people, but this is why some of they have this renegade rebelliousness, even amongst some of the interdimensional beings, because they feel like they should have to answer to a Godhead. Usually, this is those who have an issue with the divine feminine, but they feel like I don't have to answer to a God. I am the God, and all this stuff. And to an extent, yeah, you could say you're God, but at the same time, you cannot violate universal law. You certainly can't violate galactic law. You certainly can't violate the free will of others. You certainly cannot force others to do. You cannot create a system where you cannot survive unless you steal other people's energy. You try to wear other people's energy, or a system based on deception. That system will inevitably die. It's against innovation. It's against balance. It's against the good graces, rather, of the universe. This is the universe that, if anything, if you don't want to give it anything else, it is intelligent. So it doesn't do things that are not intelligent. It is confident. If you don't want to give it anything else, you don't want to call it God, you don't want to whatever, you have to give it credit for being intelligent. And you have to give it credit for wanting balance, for wanting innovation. And when you see a system based on deception, that is low governing force in the eyes of the universe. So it's going to recycle. It's going to reconfigure the programming of a deceptive matrix machine, of a deceptive program, and rewrite that program and recycle. Just like how you recycle a computer. You guys recycle a cell phone. It's the same shit. When we talk about the other forms of frequencies, that includes thought programs, thought systems, matrices. It's more than one matrix, by the way. This one just happens to be one of the lower ones in the entire universe, mind you. And so I don't see how you guys managed to do that, but it happened. You guys know you're on your last leg. And, this is prophecy, has been talked about. It's been talked about in the Bible. It's been talked about with the Hopi Indians, African, Mayan. It's been talked about Sumerian, as far as the prophecy of humanity having to make a choice, Earth going through its cycle, whether that be a sun cycle, moon, whatever, a cycle. And so that's where we're in. That, and why you're seeing this squeeze for such low governing force right now, particularly with certain bloodlines, especially a certain squeeze for energy, because it's a dying, and they know it's dying. And nobody goes out. People who took a oath to that side, a side that is dying, a side that is already lost in other dimensions. If you could time travel, or you could see the future. You guys already know where we're at. Like, they lost. So it's playing out, and many people defected or whatever from that side. And we're talking about the side that controls the matrix, the mind control system. That side dying out, and they know it. They know it, but the thing is, they're not about to just walk away freely. They're not about to just. They don't give it their last stance. You got to figure it's an addiction to steal energy. It's an addiction to see, mind control and suffering and have control and have power. Power can be very addictive. Can you imagine? So, you're going to see that last hurrah. People who have gotten off on, robbing the innocence of their energies, switching of birthright, stealing of spiritual credit through Masonic ritual. Obviously mind control. systems. There's been illegal surveillance of innocent citizens system. NSA tried to warn it. Not Eric Snowden tried to warn us about that. Julian Assange tried to wake things up. Many people try to wake things up before us. Nobody listens. Malcolm X tried to wake things up. You know, black people try to warn the American people. Was it even worth it? Galactically, yes. For them, yes. Because they tipped off. Because believe it or not, when you release anything to the internet, you do know we can see that in other dimensions, regardless of where you're at in the galaxy. Not just the universe, the galaxy. Galaxies. So you think you're just releasing something on YouTube or on WikiLeaks or whatever, and there's entities that are way more powerful than anything we've ever seen on this planet Earth that can. It's nothing for them to secretly. You won't even know that they looked at your shit. You won't know it. This is how advanced these beings are. So they'll go and they'll look at, okay, you see somebody named Julian Assange just released some shit out on the internet on that planet and that particular, they got the coordinations, whatever. They can pull it up, and they look through all that stuff. And they said, damn, that stuff really going on down there? Damn. And so, well, on planet Earth, he may be locked up, or they may be trying to do all these things to him. They try to kill him, they try to poison him, whatever. But in other dimensions of parallel universes and throughout the galaxy, they can see what the hell is going on down here. Even the Atlantean dimension, the Andromedian, the aliens, they can all see like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? And that goes even interdimensionally from even that perspective. Once we go through the constellations, you've got dimensions on those constellations itself with various frequencies and vibrations of entities. But the highest level ones, they can see it. And a lot of times they didn't care. Sometimes it's like, that's a free will planet. They got the information to free themselves. They got all types of information. God, they felt like you have the right to self-destruct. Like, if you have free will, you can do whatever you want. And if you even have the right to do stupid shit. If you end up knocking yourself off or blowing up your own planet or taking each other out through nuclear wars and all this shit, that's your own problem. That's how some of them feel, even though they are more advanced and can, help out or whatever. They feel like that's every mind is a universe, man. Every planet is a universe. That's how they feel. It's a part of evolution of consciousness. If you cannot swim, then you will drown. That's how some of them feel. Some of them are not so much. Some of them are very nosy. Some of them are very caring. People from my realm tend to be. Some of them are very self-righteous. We're gonna go help. We'll help. We got different types of things going on. So some saw what was going on. With with all of these humans complaining about, DEWs. A lot of humans are complaining about DEWs, spiritual DEW, that's directed energy weapons. All them humans can't be just randomly talking about that on the internet and they all crazy. You go on Cura, you go on Reddit, you go on YouTube, and it's thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of humans, and then reporting certain things to the Department of Justice and all these things about them having directed energy weapons used on them, noise campaigns, gang stalking, like all these people just lying. What the hell is going on planet Earth where thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people from all over the world, mind you, from every continent, will go all on the internet. Mind you, the internet is a conduit. It's a medium channel in itself, a portal. You put something out on that internet, it can be seen throughout the galaxy. It's not just your internet. Remember, how do you connect to the internet? Don't you connect to it wirelessly? Or you use a wire, the Ethernet or whatever. Ether. Wake up. Use an Ethernet cord, right? Where you get on there wirelessly through the Wi-Fi. What's that? It's a signal. Some sort of waves, right? Don't you connect to the internet with the waves? Signal waves, frequencies, different radio signals, different wavelengths. So this is energy. So I'm not saying nothing that could be too far-fetched. You can't see what you talking about. You put something on the internet and they can see it from different dimensions. It's a wave signal. You guys know this. You pick up your phone, you call somebody, you're sending your voice through a damn wave. It's the same thing with the internet. And so when you put stuff on there, other galaxies can see that. Other universes can see that. Other constellations. When we're talking about the sentience, if you guys think you are the only beings, if humans think that, I mean, more power to you. I'm not here to convince nobody of nothing. I really don't care, but I just think it's like, damn, they that behind, where you would really in your mind think that through this vast galaxy that somehow you would be the only planet. After we told you that the universe was mental, after we told you about consciousness, after we told you about quantum superpositioning and parallel universes or whatnot, after we told you these things. And so yes, we're going to think, like, well, damn, like what's going on? So anyways, when we see a bunch of humans, whether they talking on the phone, because you can hear it through the phone. It goes out and it's an ether. It's like an astral record. Anytime you talk on the phone, anytime you put something on the internet, anytime you, even if you don't, like even if you use analog methods to record something, just you speaking your heck out freely is still recorded. And the beings that are more powerful than the humans, than the reptilians, than the Nakhtians, and the niggas that's running over you, they can see that. I'll just say that they can see that. And so they really wonder, like when, how deep is this? Like, what kind of technology they got where it's a bunch of the humans is getting all on the internet talking about they being targeted. They feeling these, it's a bunch of us, it's thousands upon thousands. They've done the research. Julian Assange leaking something about WikiLeaks. Eric Snowden. So I say that to say, like, just because you may think like, oh, they did that for nothing, they did that in vain because humans didn't even wake up, humans didn't even care, or they too scared to fight for themselves, or they know but they too scared. Believe it or not, it wasn't in vain. Interdimensionally. And so, yes, there is a lot of low governing force on planet Earth. I'll give you that. Like, it's a lot where it seems like, damn, people, they're not waking up, they don't care. Many are. Millions are. Millions no. Millions no. But also, when we look at it intergalactically and interdimensionally, they tipped off certain beings that are higher ordered in terms of knowing that, okay, it's time. Obviously this is all prophecy because shamans and holy men who could travel to the future already saw all this. So they wrote about it in their caves and in their religious texts and stuff. So they already saw, people probably thought they was just making some stuff up or whatever. But then you have that aspect of the prophecy part. But then things have to get tipped off. You have to get the ball rolling at some point of how things would, actually play out in a prophecy. And sometimes you don't get all of the story. Sometimes it's written in the code. Sometimes you misinterpret it. Just like a lot of people misinterpret the book of Revelations and whatnot. And so you'll see things playing out, but then it may not look like, okay, well, you said it was going to be this type of figure, or that it was, so how you send back Yeshua as a woman, and all, all these things that you'll see, like, and then the prophecy gets all mixed up, and then you end up, or even worse, you'll have some secret society that know who's coming in the universe as far as their star inertia, and they try to kill off that energy before it can manifest. They'll try to take control over the prophecy. They'll try to take control of the prophecy and play it out their way to where they can benefit. And also that also is something that the many higher order beings are aware of as well. And so, say this to say that every mind is a universe in terms of the consciousness, and every mind, every body, human body, is obviously the manifestation of star inertia, or what Carl Sagan calls stardust. Star inertia. And it's an essence, very powerful essence of resonance, of consciousness that's very sentient. Humans are not like throwaway creatures as much as they like to convince you down here in terms of this mind control system. We're very much aware that many of you have sold your star inertia for pretty much pennies on the dollar compared to who you are. Whether that be for fame, fortune, whether that be for uh, money, material things mainly. Material things in the 3D world. Some of that was done based on deception. Some of that you willingly knew what you were signing up for and you did it. Selling of the star inertia. Sometimes for a lifetime. This is what people have done down here. Humans. And so they have lost connection to themselves, to God. They have lost their self-esteem. They've been put through the ringer. And they lost their self-esteem and they lost their sense of gifts, who they are. And so their only way to connect or to derive energy is to inflict and project that their inferiority complex and their insecurities onto those who still have their star inertia. And they will get paid to pretty much try to snuff out the star inertia of others, or to coerce them into selling theirs, or to, and we're talking about the soul, the soul, the essence. So it's kind of like the Christmas tree comparison. You have, star at the top of the tree, ornaments, your nadis, your these energy channels of the nadis traveling up to the tree, these lights, and you have the star, and then you have all of these material presents at the bottom of the tree, and these presents, material presents, and someone will come to you. You have this tree in your house, right? This is the tree that's inside of you. Your nadis, your star, your crown chakra, your star inertia, and they'll come to you with these presents, these material presents, and they'll say, hey, I'll give you these presents to put under your tree if you give me that star on the top of your tree. And there are many, many humans that decided to give their star away for material presents. Now, the material presents could have been in the form of a car, a gift. Literally, some people did it for gift cards. Drugs. Do you know that there's humans that got addicted to drugs down here? And someone, you call it a demon. Not even a demon, but like a straight hoof. An entity came to them and said, hey, you give us your star, we'll give you drugs. We'll look the other way. We won't take you to jail. That's that type of thing. That has went on with humans. We see that down here. We saw that some people had committed crimes, and they did it because they committed crimes, and so they gave their star away to prevent star inertia away to prevent going to jail for lighter sentences and stuff. All types of things that happen out here. That's on the low level. On the high level, people did it for fame and fortune, for Bentley, Mercedes, houses, big houses. People did it for different reasons. And usually there's an agenda that comes with that. Once you sell off the star inertia, there's a hijacking sort of that consciousness. And then you are bounded through oath to carry out the agenda of the entity that you sold the star inertia to. That's usually a satanic agenda. And so that's the system that's up here. Mind control system. It's been going on for thousands of years, since the time of the Babylonians, biblical times. If you read that Bible, you get to really see who was, as you guys, you down here, you guys have this thing where, and this is all on the internet. I'm just speaking as an interdimensional being that's doing research down here. You guys call them the targeted individual, or chosen ones. And you'll see, there's a bunch of them all on the internet saying, oh, this is happening to me, Not all these people are lying. Come on. And so, it's been going on for thousands of years. When you read the Bible, or even if you read some of the texts of some of the Indian texts as well, you start to see like this concept of a targeted individual. King David. Read the book of Psalms and match it up with King David. And then compare it to the stuff that y'all put out on Kira or Reddit about the things that are happening to you. Also Jeremiah. Read the book of Jeremiah. Read the book of what's the other one? Oh, read the story of John the Baptist, and then obviously Yeshua. And so they were set in this simulated matrix mind control system, and they obviously were some of the ones that, or the uncontrollables rather. And so they were talking about this and warning people about this and prophesizing about this, and it's on the money when you compare it to what the humans are all on Kira and Reddit and talking about, on YouTube talking about this phenomena of them being targeted and whatnot, blacklisted, whistleblower retaliation. So this was going on since the Bible, at least. Look at Buddha Siddhartha Gautama. Royal prince just goes out on a whim, homeless, as an ascetic, to follow this middle path, to realize the nature of suffering is caused by desire. I'm telling you that the Buddha, he was a prince, obviously, he was a royal bloodline, and that royal bloodline, they have an agenda and an oath that they follow. He didn't want to follow it. That's why he was out on the streets fucking homeless at that age and ran into the dead person. Saw a beggar, and then saw the enlightened one. And he became enlightened because he did not want to go carry out the agenda of the royal bloodline. That has happened to so many people whose stories are not written about, obviously. So you have a record of that. And you see it time and time again. And obviously with Yeshua out on the streets homeless, prince of Melchizedek, a priest of Melchizedek, part of a Hebrew royal bloodline, obviously. All of a sudden he out on the streets, he an outcast, a renegade outcast, homeless, preaching, going to performing his miracles, whatever, with the knowledge that he had learned in India and Egypt and whatnot. But he became targeted because the information that he knew, and he was not going to go also with the agenda of selling of the star inertia and the carrying out of a satanic oath. And so we know what happened with that situation with him. And so this has happened. And then, obviously when you look at the story of King David, read that book of Psalms. Obviously some of this was written by black women on his behalf because they were mystic. They were kind of like esoteric chants as well for the curses. Some of them were curses, some of them were spells, high level intergalactic mentalism. So he didn't write all of it. But when he talks about some of the stories of, like Psalms 18, you read Psalms 18, Psalms 90, these type of things, Psalms 55, Psalms 109. He's telling a story of what happened to him as a targeted, and how, obviously, even as a king, you still have your queen mothers and your priestesses trying to help you to fight this off, to fight the things that you're going through, the spiritual warfare. But look at how he's talking about, the humans that were doing things to him, persecuting him, after his soul. Read Psalms 35. They after his soul, they after him, they trying to get him to do this, they trying to persecute him, let the angel of God chase them that come after my soul and all this stuff. He's talking like that because it's the same system that's going on right now. This system though is dying though, is what I'm saying. This system of the mind control, where they're feeding the beast off of star inertia of the humans, selling their star and taking packs to the fallen angels. All of that is dying in 2024. It's dying. And so they are looking for that last hurrah or whatever, and a new fuel system. But it's judgment, and so the only thing that's going to happen is a recyclement for them back to the source energy. For them, that is being cast into fire like hell, whatever. But the mind control system of the targeting and the targeted harassment set up by governments and the illegal surveillance of citizens, the stuff that Julian Assange and Eric Snowden was trying to warn us about, the human trafficking of children, all of these things is coming to an end. And so that's where we're at. And so with every mind being a universe, it is up to every human to recapture that star inertia. They're to reawaken it. To, if you have yours still, hold on to it. Hold on to it with dear life. And for those who lost theirs, to recapture and to awaken it, because once you connect it to the source, or to the cosmic, or you call it God, or whatever, however you want to call it, you'll constantly have an access to a reservoir of infinite electromagnetism, infinite energy, powerful energy, righteous love energy. This is the energy of a very high vibration that constantly refuels itself, and that's what the human being has access to. And many animals, especially children, children have this. So many creatures. It's not just humans. And so, for those who may have lost their way, it is up to them to redeem themselves, and to recapture that. But it is never okay to project what they have done and then try to steal or take what someone else has. And this is when we talk about like the swapping of the spiritual credit of someone. This is done through Masonic ritual. The stealing of someone's gifts and trying to, or stealing of soul energy. And we call them conspiracy theorists of people who talk about this. Obviously, this is where the sacrifice stuff comes in. The blood sacrifice system comes in. There are people that do this for other people's energy. They try to ride off other people's energy. They try to steal other people's energy. They have tried to do this to me. Where you want to wear the gifts in the face of someone else's energy, because because of the person have such low confidence, they sold their star inertia, so they're under oath and pact, or they just have such low self-esteem, or they're so jealous, or they're so low vibrational that they don't know how to awaken their own gifts or believe in themselves enough to where they can tap into the God source themselves, the universe itself. Mind you, every mind is a universe, where they won't have to feel the need to steal other people's energy and life force. And so that system is also dying. That system is also dying. And you see all the time in the music industry, you see so many people talking about it, where, well, such and such sacrificed this person, someone did this to their mom, Whether it's true or not, we all know. They talk about it in all of your ancient texts about this stuff. It's been going on for thousands of years. It's been what's keeping the system going. What do you think money and currency is? It's soul energy. Money is people. That's what they talk about, blood money. Whole system, bank, ran off of maritime admiralty law, the law of commerce, the law of water. The birthing waters of humanity, and the product that comes out of the birthing waters, a human, is literally seen as a product, as a corporation, as soon as they're born. As their star inertia is gambled with, bartered on, betted on, traded with. That's why you trade your time for money. It's your soul essence. Trading your time for money, labor, got to go to 9 to 5. This corporation thing. It's illegal. Galactically, it's illegal. Universally, it's illegal. But down here, it's a matrix hell system. It's an illegal system set up on top of Earth, on a free will planet. Go figure. And so it's an illegal system all around that is dying. It doesn't take any human that has to go out and obviously you have to wake up and you have to step out of that matrix and step out of that system. I'm not saying you ain't got to do any work. You got to do the work. You got to step out of it, and you got to wake up yourself too, and you got to make your decision and make your choice on what side you stand on. Do you stand on the side of a fake, or do you go with do you go with real reality, prime reality, soul reality? Do you go with the spirit? Do you trust in your spirit? Do you go with love, or do you go with fear? Do you go with control, or do you go with freedom? You have to decide that. Choose the winning side is what I'll say. Damn sure you better try to choose the winning side. That's all I gotta say. You better pay attention to the signs of the damn times. You better pay attention to the signs of the damn times. You better read everything you sign. You better be discerning of people that come around you and their agendas. You better make sure you do everything that was in your heart. Follow your passions and your dreams. You better not choose the material realm over your spirit. Those type of things. Use your common sense during this day and time. If you don't have common sense, go read a book or something to give you some of that knowledge and wisdom. Preferably an ancient book that talks in code, that speaks in code to you about what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta believe it. I ain't telling nobody to run a religion. I ain't telling nobody to follow any religion or whatever. This is intergalactic. It's interdimensional. It transcends a religion. It transcends the earth. Seriously. And so we're beyond that. But I'm saying if you don't have any clue of what I'm talking about, shit, maybe you can go on Cure on Reddit or watch a couple YouTube videos, shit. But if you really, really want to know, you want to start looking at some of that ancient material from Egypt. You can look at it from Hebrew ancient material as well. Sumerian, put the story all together. Read the Book of Enoch, shit. And you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But so interdimensional beings from various aspects of parallel universes and even parallel galaxies have been seeing what's going on here. Some of them who were involved in the beginning creation stages of solar systems, planets, universes, including Earth. Now, you obviously a human would see that person as a god. If you see if you see a higher order being, like such as an angel, as someone that's above you, the beings that can create Earth or a solar system or a universe, or can control the elements of a galaxy, you're going to see them as a god. And so some of them have gotten wind of, like, oh shit, like we did that thousands of years ago. They don't turn that down there like that. It's like that type of thing. Now, obviously there are multiple councils, legions, councils, committees that would be involved in obviously the creation of a solar system or a universe and whatnot. But when it comes down to Earth in particular, there are certain beings that had a hand in that. And some that was aware of where it was going to go, and others that were not cool with it at all. And so there's like an investigation going on. And that's a part of the prophecy. That's also a part of the prophecy. But again, just because you see a prophecy in a book from, like, say, a Hopi Indian or something, you don't know the details of how it, you don't know galactically or astrally or what that looks like. You just know that, the prophecy said be a pale horse and there's going to be a trumpet, all that type of thing. But you don't actually know what's going on in the background. You don't know, okay, there's this investigation. Okay, this is the GIA satellite. You won't know the role that maybe even a planet will play in carrying out a prophecy. In particular, we're talking about Saturn. Saturn is a satellite for planet Earth. Is a part of a galactic intelligence agency that been monitored and been filtering off all of the Earth's information from the obviously a lot of karmic records, so much ancestral records, so much data. It's thousands and thousands of tetrabytes of data from Saturn. Or the galaxy can filter through. Beings that create galaxies pretty much can filter through that very quickly to get down to to get down to the bottom of what the hell's been going on down here, and who's caused it, who's part of it, who and so all that's been taken care of. Then you have this concept of interdimensional beings that come on planet Earth in human flesh, in the flesh. You guys call them shapeshifters. Some of them are shapeshifters, some of them are not. Some of them really did come in through as a human cloaked. And they can't shapeshift because they are literally in flesh. Their soul, their starry inertia, and their oversoul may be a god, could be an avatar, could be an octave of a god, could be a combination of octaves, frequency. Remember, this is all archetypes and dimensions, so you'll have an octave of Yeshua, you can have an octave of Kali Ma, you can have all these different things in a human body. So Some of them are just angels. Some of them came in as angels, in humans. Now, many of humans are dormant, sleeping. Some of them are not aware of the seed of godliness within them. Some of them are not even aware of which star system they come from, how they got here, what's going on. And that's okay. It's not, that ain't no judgment on that. But as far as some of in terms of the prophecy that's playing out, you're going to see some humans, come forward who you think you see flesh and whatnot. You see flesh, right? But their oversoul is not that of a human. They could be in God, a interdimensional being. If every mind is a universe, think of the concept of what it looks like when a galaxy manifests in human form. Have a human ever thought about that? If a universe can manifest in the form of consciousness and star inertia inside of a human body, right? That's how powerful humans are, by the way. So such an unfortunate thing to see humans sell their star inertia. It's devastating, actually, to see that happen. But imagine a sentient galaxy deciding to transform itself and go through the process manifesting as a human on planet Earth to carry out a recognizance mission. Curious about what the hell's going on. Can you imagine that? If Tahuti tells you that all is mental, the universe is mental, and all you guys are made up of star inertia, the kingdom of God is within. We talk about the nadis and the chakras, all these energy channels within your body, all these meridians and all of these energies, these chakras and all this cool stuff, the Kundalini awakening and all that stuff. It's a part of recognizing who you are, part of the universe and all that. It's ancient science. It's nothing new. It ain't nothing that new. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh my gosh, what I'm saying is so. What I'm saying, if every mind is a universe, and every human is star inertia manifested in physical flesh, and their consciousness is representative of the universe. Imagine if a galaxy decides to manifest as a human. It would be very easy for them to do that. But just imagine that what I'm saying is that some humans have done that. If you're wondering why the mind control system hasn't worked on some of the humans, you're putting them through a grueling monarch, MK Ultra, whatever it is that you're doing to them, targeted harassment, whatever. If you're wondering why ain't shit happening to them, if you're wondering why they ain't bulging, why they not gonna bulge, it's because they are one of the ones that is a galaxy that manifested in human form. And at that point, there is nothing that you can do to them. Nothing at all. They literally have the essence of the Creator God. They have the conduit channel of the Creator God in them, as them. They are chief architects. They are huge. Not only do they have the ability to be the chief architect of the universe, they are much bigger than that. And so when you put some of these humans in these programs and you try to mind control them or abuse them, systematically abuse them, where you try to distort their destiny and everything that they are meant to do, it's not going to work. You do noise campaigns to try to question their psychological capacities when they're usually brilliant, genius, more intelligent than 98% of the humans on this planet for sure. Those type of things you try to do to some of the chosen ones. These are not regular humans. They look like humans. They have flesh, blood, right? They are not you. They're not regular. And they cannot be fucked with. And so they are the ones, and there's children involved in it. They are the ones that are doing the recognizance. They're not here to save anybody, but they damn sure vibration is so high enough and so powerful. Their auras are so powerful where they can shift the galaxy. They can shift the sun. They can shift the moon. They can do things on this planet through their mind, um, and through their star inertia. And they have the backing of galaxies. They are the galaxy in human flesh. Now, not everybody has that. Now, why did that happen? Why were certain people chosen, whatever? However you want to say, should you say chosen ones choose themselves? Yeah, maybe. But let's be real. Not everybody on the same level. And it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. An ant is not on a lion. An ant is not on the level of a human. Yeah, you all special. Yeah, you all equal. You deserve your rights to be respected. You deserve your uh, talents and gifts to be honored and respected. Your free will to be respected. But yeah, if things are taxonomy, if things are taxonomy in a sense of hierarchical, then that's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's a balance. It's a balance, and it's an evolution of consciousness. And so just because you may see, okay, someone is at this level, why can't I be at that level? Let me just go steal their star. Let me just go steal their gifts. It doesn't work that way. Because that soul energy most likely did a lot of work. They most likely, what you may think is just a human, or or even if we talk about these ones that are galaxies, a human flesh, they were gods. They were part of the creation of other solar systems. They were part of. That's why these are primordial energies. They're very primordial. They're very ancient. They're very, very, very old. Very, 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 very old energies. And so they've done the work. They've already passed the levels. They're past significant levels already. You're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Thousands, tens of thousands, millions possibly, to have that level of power. So when you see that, this is what happened with Yeshua. He was one of those ones, right? Galaxy and human form. Siddhartha Gautama, galaxy in human form. So there are people that transcend just universe in human form. Most humans are universe in human form. You got some that's galaxy in human form. When they wake up and they become enlightened, they become a problem, they become a threat, get targeted, get killed, or you get sacrificed or something like that. So that's what happens. And so the ones that become this galaxy in human form, they, to be quite frank, they were already highly evolved before even coming to this planet. Planet Earth was a recognizant, like planet Earth was like it's a form of I won't say low governing force, but for whatever reason they found themselves down here. They down here, and they awaken to who they are. They realize that they are God in the flesh, or they are part of the Godhead. They see the evils of this world. They see what's going on down here. They see like, oh my gosh, this is horrific. Like, what's going on? They start to talk a lot about it. They get on the radar. Because this system is ran by fallen angels. And I already told you guys how that all came about from the Chaos Intelligence Room. I already put videos. If you guys want to know, study those Chaos Intelligence teachings. And in the videos that got the title of planetary, or anything with interdimensional beings, or anything that say planetary. Study those videos so you can understand. Or get the Language of the Gods, Divine Feminine, Language of the Gods in the Age of Divine Feminine, Queen Mothership Part 3. Get that book as well, because we talk about it there too, about the Chaos Intelligence Room, the true story of Lucifer and the fallen angels, the true teachings of Yeshua. We talk about all that. It's just playing out in today's time. And so these beings that are galaxies in human flesh, they don't like to see what's going on. They don't like it. They just, they're going to speak out about it. They're going to realize it. They're not going to be a part of the controllables. They're not going to go into this hive mind, fake matrix. They're not going to. They're going to see it for what it is, and then they're going to get put on a watch list and surveillanced and illegally be deemed an enemy and put into like some, these targeted, program. And then there'll be all types of setups where they try to get the special, the person to either off themselves, to be locked up in a prison, or be confined in a mental institution. This is what they do to those type of humans that come in as galaxies, or as a universe too. Some of them, they do come in as universe. However, they awaken. They realize that they're not uncontrollable. They have natural brilliance, natural gifts. Their vibration is so high where they can help. They want to help humanity just from their existence, just from the things that they interest them. Whether that be like innovative educations and innovative inventions, innovative science around holistic health, like Dr. Sebi, all these type of things. Osho, talking about, the things he was talking about, all types of stuff. Just from their interests alone, they shift the entire frequency of a planet. Just from the interest. Just like Jesus' interest shifts the entire frequency of a planet. And so that is why you become targeted. You may think you're doing something innocent. You may be like, I'm a good person. I love people. I love humans. I love planet Earth. I would never hurt even a fly. And you sitting there your whole life and everything you're doing is being sabotaged, or you're being illegally harassed and whatnot. Why is that happening to you? It's happening because either you know too much. Sometimes people are just jealous. The powerful person is just literally jealous of you, and they're trying to steal your star inertia, and they can't. So they also do that. And lastly, but most importantly, for a lot of humans, is just that your vibration can shift the frequency of this planet for the better. You can inspire others to awaken. Just from your interest. It doesn't mean you got to go out and save anybody, or because I kind of thought that myself one time, but it's more so like you're so powerful. Like, say your interest is homeopathic. Just it could be anything, but that interest could spark. Like remember when Tupac was said, I may not change the world, but I know I can spark the mind. That does change it through my energies, through I can spark it. I want to inspire. Obviously, Tupac was killed. He was also on that list. He came on that list when he talked about kill Illuminati, and when he talked about, I didn't, my soul is still there. I can look at him. He was talking about that for a reason. Pay attention. Pay attention to things he was saying, and how he wouldn't go with dude sucking no dick. With what's they say, Quincy Jones or whatever. He wasn't sucking no dick. And so they got him out the paint. Put him on that list. Systematically murdered him. Okay? And so it's real stuff. Your vibration will shift it. Same with XXXTentacion. Remember towards the end of his life how he started talking about how he wanted to help enlighten people, inspire people to be confident and to love themselves and all that? Oh no, that's against the agenda. Bloop. And so sometimes if you're wondering, like, well, I'm not even relevant, like, why am I on this list? And you guys, I'm just saying what I've read from thousands of humans on Kira and on Reddit. I've been doing this research for years, intuitively, through physical research, scientific research, as well as spiritually. And so I can see it. And so now I'm saying to the others, because obviously I'm speaking from experience myself now. It is because of the potential that you have. Your star inertia is still there. It's powerful. You're connected to the God source, connected to the Godhead, God energy. So you have a reservoir of power that is unmatched, that cannot be contained, cannot be controlled, cannot be sullied. You work out of love versus fear. You believe in love. You believe in fairness, justice, balance. And so if you're a person that believes in that, that's an electromagnetic field around you. That's your aura. That means anywhere you walk, anywhere you talk, anything you do that's going to leave that imprint everywhere all over this planet. No matter how small you are, no matter who you don't, you know what I mean? And so when the goal is to destabilize such a person like that, that would be talking about, oh, I want to help humanity, or I want to invent this cool thing. I want to, like we say with the brothers, they invented a water engine for the car, right? Or another brother invented how to turn air into water. Air is water, by the way. But he figured this out. And then obviously brother Aaron Salters had figured out a way to do water engine for the car, dead. Brother who invents air to water, his shit is sabotaged. His machine was sabotaged. Nikola Tesla targeted, when he talks about free energy and free electricity, targeted. That's why he was so isolated. That's why he only talked to birds. And his stuff stolen. Government's still watching his shit. Anybody that even think know anything about his sciences, they on the list. Trump targeted. Trump is because and it's different because a lot of people, he got in with them. He was in with the shits, and then now he went out, but they can't kill him. He got a lot of protection. You don't just get 91 trumped up felonies and you stay. That's why he's walking around with the Ark of the Covenant in his house and his, Nikola Tesla's research papers. There's a way to protect yourself now. You don't have to just go. You don't have to just fold, right? There's some ways to protect yourselves, and so you'll see these targeted harassment. You see people talking about, well, I'm being, don't dismiss them. There's going to be some shit that come out in 2024 and 2025. So you want to be very careful of who you want to call and dismiss, and you want to be careful of the people who do the dismissing, because those are people that are usually paid agents. They are a part of the agenda. They are the whole thing is discrediting people and discrediting brilliant, intelligent minds, people who know things. Even if it's spiritual, a lot of spiritual workers are under attack. Psychics, clairvoyants, they're under attack. Mystics, those who do those, especially black women spiritual teachers. Many of you are under attack. Many of you face discrediting. They try to say you're crazy, because you are a seer. They do all types of shit. Writers who write about free-thinking topics are under attack. We're talking about systemically in terms of destabilizing them to discredit them. Activists, whistleblowers, obviously. If you're a black American still talking about reparations or anybody of that nature, if you're grassroots and you're real, you're not controlled opposition, you are also on the list. The beautiful thing is that system is dying. There is galactic federations, levels way higher than that. The federation that you guys see here, there is one that is way more covert than that has not even really made themselves known. We talked about it a little bit with the Galactic Intelligence Agency, GIA Chaos Intelligence Room. That is the pole of creation. That is the pole of creation that creates galaxies, that creates this concept of the idea of resonance and consciousness itself. Before you even get to the formation of a solar system, a universe, a planet, even water. Now we talk about primordial waters and primordial mother and some really interesting shit, man. But that they have their own intelligence agency on this planet Earth. They've used covert operations to where they've been silent. They've been just observing. Saturn is one of them. And so it's a lot of things going on this planet. I'm speaking as a seer. I'm just speaking as a seer. I had a dream. I had a dream. This is just a dream. So if it's just a dream, it's just a dream, right? But this GIA, they were monitoring They were like, they can control the entire electromagnetic grid of the entire planet, of every satellite that surrounds this planet at will, because they are beings that create galaxies. They're sentient. Some of it is energy, some of them are in human form on this planet. But they can control the entire electromagnetic grid of this entire planet at will, and send out resonances that are undetected to certain lower vibrational entities, but can still be picked up by the innocent and the righteous. And they can take over some of this, these radio signals, communications, any type of telecommunications wiring, and send out their own frequencies of what they want, coded messages that will go undetected if you are not at a certain frequency. And I had a dream that they were doing this. I thought it was interesting. I don't have anything else to say about it. I just thought it was like, wow. They are sending out messages that nobody else would pick up on unless you are at a high vibration. Does not matter your religion. Does not matter your race. Does not matter your gender. Does not matter your age. You're going to get that frequency from them if you have a high vibration. It doesn't mean you're right. You holier now. You don't do nothing. Whatever. No, just high vibration, righteousness, justice, balance. You believe in enlightenment, intelligence, love. Love is most important. Being a being of love. And obviously, it doesn't mean that you have to, you just, some fairy or some, some saint. It's not about that. It's just that in your heart of hearts, just from your own star inertia, good and well what's right from wrong. That's all it means. You know what's right from wrong, and you decide to just do right. That's all it means. If that is you, then you're going to get beamed those frequencies and those light codes. You'll get those light codes. And so that's where we're at. That's where we're at with it. So I think that's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. Be aware, be discerning at this time, and be happy. Most importantly, live your life, continue to do your dreams, continue to live your passions, and choose love over control, and choose love over fear. Choose righteousness, choose justice, choose balance, choose intelligence, and choose enlightenment. Choose standing up for yourself as well. Stand up for yourself. And when you see something, say something. Don't be quick to dismiss people's story. And do not. Because some of you gonna get put on a judgment call because you dismiss and try to play certain gods in human form or galaxies in human form and try to say they're crazy. That's gonna be the shit that fuck you humans up down here. Because now you're insulting God. Now you're insulting God's intelligence. When you do that and try to gaslight someone and try to make it seem like they don't know what they're talking about or they got some issues. That kind of shit that y'all been doing to all the other humans. And so many humans, they fell to the wayside. Millions and millions fell to the wayside because of those methodologies of gaslighting and targeting and gang stalking, all types of things, where the people have been driven from their path and their destiny. And so since that is coming to an end, the methods of anytime somebody speaks the truth, your first instinct is to say, they're crazy. They're in trouble. That type of thing, like they did with Cat Williams and Monique and me, anybody. It could be anybody. You've done it to was it Prodigy, ODB, who else? Well, anybody that's a truth teller that y'all walk around as soon as they say the motherfucking truth, or they tell on something, try to say they try to do it. Julian, oh, you're crazy. That type of shit. That ain't gonna work no more. And the people that you gotta watch who you say that about. They did it with Dave Chappelle, Michael Jackson. Come on, the list goes on and on. From the old to the young, white to black, intelligent, gender. It didn't matter. They do it to anybody who speaks the truth. It's a method. It's a system that they do down here. It's the first thing that they do. Be careful who you do that and say that about. Because some of the humans that you think you're saying that about, they're gods. They're watchers. Some of them are angels. Some of them are galaxies. And so you pull that on them. Some of the beings that created you, whether you decided to go with that route or not, whether you decided to align with that agenda or not, or whether you even a fallen angel. You disrespect your creator, and you disrespect God's intelligence. There's a significant consequences for that. And so that's all I'll say. Judgment. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye.